computer tech. All right, so let's start sitting. Whatever's comfortable for you. And you're gonna hook George up kind of into your armpit. So you're kind of snugged in. So you feel George on your rib cage and the other hand gently pulling on that wrist, kind of like gravity do its thing. And then I want you to focus on feeling inhale and feeling exhale. There we go. Okay. There we go. So feel that inhale, rib cage expand. You should feel yourself press into George a little bit. So again, we're trying to get the rib cage to go all the way around. As you exhale, feel yourself draw back in. So after you feel yourself expand here, then you start to feel that rib, the breastbone start to come forward a little bit. So we're really getting a 3D expansion here. Again, just being aware of your breath. One more inhale, exhale, and then switch over to the other side. Don't throw your ball away. Just switch over to the other side. Again, kind of hooking up into your armpits. It's above the elbow. Get comfortable there. Just hold on to that arm with the other hand. Feel the inhale. Feel the exhale. So on that next exhale, I want you to begin to feel everything starting to lift up and get a little bit of tone in it. So as you exhale, the diaphragm actually goes up. That starts to pull up through the core, through those obliques, the deepest layer along your spine. But you're starting to feel a little tone there. And again, just kind of humming in the background. One more. And then go ahead and come around onto your back, George in between your knees. And again, noticing that breath. So if you need to put your hands on the ribs, feel free to. So as you inhale, feel the rib cage expand. Again, you'll have less behind you, but you'll have more sideways. And as you exhale, gently press in on George just a little bit. Feel that core connection. Feel the diaphragm draw up as your rib cage draws in. And again, getting that little bit of tone activated all the way through the core, the deepest layer of the muscle. So not a lot of effort here. We let the breath really guide that engagement. All right, and then keeping this breath, arms go toward the ceiling. And think about letting the weight of the arms sink your shoulder blades into the ground. And then notice on inhale, the arms automatically just reach forward a little bit just by rib cage action. So feeling that inhale, the arms reach forward a little bit, exhale, they sink into the ground a little bit. So really letting the breath do the work here. Again, feeling those minute movements so that you can really begin to understand the bigger movements. All right, and at that end range of motion, maybe add just like 1/8 of an inch of actual reach forward of the arms, and then let those shoulder blades sink in. You shouldn't have to add anything because they're already being pulled downward by gravity. So you're just adding that little bit extra, and try to stay relaxed across the collarbones, the top part of your chest. We got one more. And then arms split into scissors. So inhale, your right arm goes overhead, the left arm goes down by your side. And then exhale, back to center. Inhale, left arm overhead, right arm down by your side. So again, notice what you feel on the arm, in particular the one overhead. So get the neck and shoulders to relax, the top of your chest relaxes. Feeling the shoulder blades move a little bit. Feeling the arm move in the socket. We got one more here. And then go ahead and let George drop and put both feet on George. So knees are still pressed together. Core is gently engaged, that humming in the background. Feel your inhale. Feel the exhale. And with the next inhale, expand the rib cage and slowly let the legs go out straight. You're reaching through the heels. And as you exhale, engage the core first. Feel the rib cage draw in and then gently pull back in. So you're keeping that neutral spine, that natural curve, and pull back in. Inhale, slowly press out. Exhale and pull back in. We got one more here. All right, coming into hip release. So the knees are going to go open a little bit, slide the legs straight, and then roll the knees and toes to center and pull back in. So they open out, external rotation, lateral rotation, slide straight, keeping that rotation. Knees go toward the ceiling and pull back in. So your goal here is really keeping the pelvis still and low back still in that neutral spine, so that little bit of space. And keep your awareness of the breath. So notice how the breath moves you. So again, just like we're doing yoga, inhale, expand, exhale, contract. Oh, it's easier for you to breathe the other way, please do so. All right, last one here, and then we'll reverse it for a few. So slide the legs out straight, knees and toes turn out, curl, pull in, back together, slide straight, curl in or curl out, back together at the top. Last one. And then go ahead and bring both feet back to the ground, and George goes in between the knees again. Fingertips go behind the head to give the neck support, and let the shoulders relax. So elbows are going to be forward to keep that chest nice and open. Again, how far forward, it really depends on you. So again, go back to the awareness of your breath. Feel inhale. And on that inhale, your back of the neck all by itself starts to lengthen out. Exhale, relax. So feel that little head nod happening. You're not having to do anything. You're letting the breath do the work. And then with the next inhale, feel that head nod. Exhale, really focus on engaging the core and then slide the ribs to the hips. So pelvis is staying still. Inhale, stay here. Feel yourself get broad across the collarbone, you relax across the top of the chest, and then exhale, slowly lengthen out as you come back down. Inhale, feel the back of the neck lengthen, exhale, engage through the core, pressing on George a little bit, and then use those obliques to slide the rib toward the hip. Inhale, exhale, and slowly release yourself back down. Head nod on that inhale. Again, you're not necessarily trying to do that big head nod, you're letting the breath do a lot of the work. And lengthen out as you go down. So really control how you go down. Notice what you're feeling as you curl up, trying to keep that pelvis still, even a slight imprint if it needs to. Again, where do you want to be today? But feeling those obliques do work. So you have the internal stuff engaged first, and then the external stuff kicks in. We have one more here. And then release. All right, shake it out for a moment. And then you're rolling onto your side, knees and hips both at 90. If you have a toning ball, you are welcome to use one. We're going to do our spine twist. We're going to do our multiple spine twist. So bottom rib is lifted, long through the low back. Again, head is a natural extension of your spine. Knees and hips stay pressing into the ground, and that top arm is going to reach forward. So as you inhale, feel the rib cage expand, you float that arm to the ceiling. So keep that relationship of the arm across the torso. Exhale, turn the spine. Keep those knees pressing downward. Inhale, stay there, reach. And then exhale, use the obliques to bring yourself all the way back around. Inhale, up. Exhale, slowly rotate. So keep that arm straight out across both shoulders. Inhale, exhale, pull it back around. Again, inhale, up, exhale, twist. Inhale, exhale, back around. We got two more. So I really want you to notice the rib cage twist. Where are you twisting from? Notice what the pelvis is doing. Last one here. All right, and then relax the upper body for a minute, focusing on the lower body. So the bottom rib stays lifted, core is engaged, and again, that humming in the background. On the next inhale, feel the rib cage expand. I want you to gently push the top knee forward. Rib cage stays still. And as you exhale, slowly pull that top hip back. So you're getting the lower body to do that rotation. Exhale, core engages, pull back. So the bottom oblique set is checked in. We're getting a nice small motion here. And really try to feel each of the 5 low back vertebrae move on their own. So if you need to go even slower, you're welcome to. You need to put your hand on your low back and kind of feel where are those vertebrae and can I feel them starting to move on their own. So the base of the rib cage should stay relatively still. It's going to have a little response. Last one here. Take it forward. Pull it back. And then that top arm reaches forward again. So we're doing full body twist here. So inhale, the top arm goes up. Your hips go to neutral. Exhale, shift the hips back. Turn the rib cage. And you're going to find you go back a lot farther. Inhale, stay 45-degree-ish or so on the arm. Reach. And then exhale. Use the obliques to bring yourself back around. Again, totally different feel when you let those hips go. So shift the hip back. Around the low back a little bit. Turn the rib cage. Inhale, reach, get on that 45. So you're starting to open up your diagonal lines. We got 2 more here. Inhale, exhale, shift, round, twist. 1 more. Shift, round, twist. All right. Relax the upper body for a moment, going back to that lower body. So squeezing gently into George. Movement happens at the hips, slowly Betty Boop. Internal rotation, clamshell 2. Lots of different names here. So you're getting the deep hip muscle do the work. Keep that bottom rib lifted. You're checked in. Bottom oblique sets engaged. Top hip reaching long. Again, get the movement to feel and to start originate from that hip. Two more. And then go ahead and take Georgia out, put him off to the side for a moment. All right, both arms go overhead, reaching long. Notice it changes the position of your spine. All right, so from here, you're still in that 90-90 at the knee and hip, but I want you to bounce that top knee. It's kind of like you're doing a little bitty clamshell. Just bounce, bounce, bounce that top knee. All right, and then pause the legs, slowly rotate the shoulders back. Different kind of twist. You'll feel the hips skew a little bit. That's fine, they can skew. And then bring yourself back and again, bounce the top leg. So getting into those fascial lines a little bit more. And then roll back with the shoulders. Notice how that one feels compared to the other one. Back to center, last one. And then roll the shoulders back. Let the hips skew a little bit. And then back to center. All right, from here, go ahead and rotate over to the other side. Grab George. If you were using a toning ball, you can grab that. Completely optional. Knees and hips around 90 degrees. Bottom arm cradles the head. Bottom rib is lifted. Again, check everything in. Top arm reaches forward. Again, starting off with the lower body, stay still. So press knees into George, both knees into the ground. Inhale, your top arm goes to the ceiling. As you exhale, rotate your rib cage backwards. So keep that arm straight out. Take an inhale, stay. And then exhale and slowly bring yourself all the way back around. Inhale up, feel the rib cage expand. Exhale slowly, feel the rib cage draw in. That creates your twist and activates those obliques. Inhale, exhale, back around. Float the arm up, take your time here. Again, legs are staying still for this one. So you're really isolating through the rib cage. The letting that arm add a little bit of resistance. Get a couple more. And notice as you repeat, are you able to increase your range of motion? Notice how the neck feels. When you get done with this one, go ahead and pause, focusing on lower body. So you still have that bottom rib lifting, the set of the hips. Rib cage stays still. Slowly on inhale, feel the rib cage expand. You push that top knee forward. And as you exhale, slowly pull that top hip back. Inhale, push that top knee forward. Exhale, pull the top hip back. So take your time. Again, notice what you feel. You're trying to get those 5 lumbar vertebrae to move sequentially. So again, even a hand on the back of on your low back, try to see if you can feel each one turn. As you get up higher, it will turn less. There should be some motion in it that you can feel. All right, couple more. All right, then we're adding that arm reach forward the next time the knee goes forward. As you inhale now, the arm goes up, the hip starts to shift to center. Exhale, the hips shifting back. You're rounding your low back gently. The arm rotates back about 45 degrees. Really stay there. Inhale, reach. Exhale, get those obliques to really fire and pull everything back around. It starts from the core, starts from intention really. So inhale up, exhale, shift, round, twist. Exhale, use the obliques to engage and bring you around. Inhale, up, shift, round, twist. Remember, as you're coming forward, still shift that knee forward. So again, whole body motion here. Let's do one more. Again, notice the differences in the twist. They all have value, which is why I do like doing them all. They're also different. And back to where you started. All right, Betty Boop. So knees, upper body staying still. Top leg, you're rotating that heel toward the ceiling. Try to keep that knee at 90 degrees. And again, that movement originates from that deep hip. Again, think about how you connect with the breath. So exhale, start your breath, feel that deep layer connect, and then the heel rotates toward the ceiling. Internal rotation. Got a couple more of these Betty Boops. And then George can go off to the side. Both arms are going to reach overhead. And again, notice the change in position of your spine here. All right, now you're bouncing that top leg. Just bounce it, bounce it, bounce it. And then legs stay still. Start from the shoulder, start to roll yourself back. And again, the hip knees, the lower body can move as it needs. Roll far as you're comfortable, and then bring yourself back around. Bounce the knees. And then roll. Back to center, bounce the knees. My other side bounced better. And then release. All right, we got one more of these. And then roll. And then slowly onto your side, and then over onto your abs. Grab George again. George underneath the breastbone, forehead down. Legs are long, comfortable distance apart. And again, focusing on feeling the breath. So now as you inhale, you can really feel the back of the ribs open up, feel that spine lift toward the ceiling, getting really that 3-dimensional breath, except for the forward part, but you should be feeling a little bit more pressure on the ball. And as you exhale, really sink around the ball. Let the ball support you. So it takes all your weight. All right, when you're ready, on inhale, feel the rib cage expand and then slowly begin to push the ball forward, feeling the spine extend, lifting the chest just a little bit, but keep the weight on the ball, lift your chin just a little bit at the end range, and then exhale, slowly lengthen yourself out, bring yourself back in. Low back stays long, core is engaged. Inhale, pushing George forward. And again, think about equal curve in the whole spine. And then as you exhale, really think about lengthening out. Feel the ball roll back in. Inhale. Take a nice long exhale. So feel your stability. Feel the shoulder blades pull back and in just a little bit. Again, that gives you some access into that upper back mobilization. Neck stays nice and relaxed. This time up and hold. Bring your arms to a goalpost position. You're gonna have your elbows up at shoulder height, but your pinky is down. So we're starting with L's today. All right, so head is hovering. You feel it in your neck. Feel free to support the head, drop the head down, your choice. Nice and long, a hover line. So with the pinkies down, I want you to exhale in slow, small motion. Begin to lift the thumbs toward the ceiling. That rotates that shoulder joint, the arm and socket. Inhale, slowly sink it back down. So you're getting stability across the shoulders here as you do this, and then slowly back down. So work with that small range of motion. Notice what you feel. And again, the shoulder blades are set, but they're dynamically set. So they may have a little bit of motion in here, nothing rough, solid, hard. And again, the key here is really, if they're feeling like they're down a little bit, that's good because it helps you stay out of those upper neck muscles that are trapped. Your levators, the base of the neck muscles. Again, check in with the head. How is it doing? These are nice and slow. Take your time. Core stays engaged. We got 2 more. And then slowly release down. Check in for a moment. Arms come down by your sides and bring those legs all the way together. All right, so notice your arms are probably, shoulders are rounded forward, your arms are internally rotated. So as you inhale, start to lift your head to hover, flatten the shoulder blades on your rib cage, lift the arms up a little bit and slowly push the ball just a little bit. So you're really reaching into that hover length. So you're creating length as opposed to height. And on the next exhale, slowly release yourself all the way down. Again, inhale, you're starting to reach forward, slide those shoulder blades in just a little bit, lift the arms just a little bit. Again, neck stays relaxed. Feel the shoulder blades move. Feel the weight on George. Feel length being created. Okay, last one. We're going to go up and hold again. And then now take your palms face down. All right, so from here on exhale, you're slowly taking those arms, sweeping them all the way forward to the thumbs up position, and then slowly bringing those arms all the way back down. So neck is relaxed. Now I want you to really focus on feeling the shoulder blade rotate. Okay, so it rotates to a point and then they kind of sit still and it's just the arms. But I want you to feel that shoulder blade mobility. So if it's easier to do this one arm at a time, you're welcome to. So you're really going to focus on the oblique set on the side of the arm moving to keep that stability. Again, not saying necessarily easier or harder, it's just different. You get to focus on that arm more if you're only doing one at a time. So what works for you? So getting those arms to lift, try to keep them shoulder height. As you sweep through this full range of motion, only go as far overhead as you can and keep the neck relaxed. Again, that may limit your range of motion some, and that's fine. Think about the top of the chest stays relaxed. We got one more here. And then release, relax down, and then go ahead and sit back into child's pose. Actively engage in the abdominals, round your low back. Check in, see how you feel. I don't know about y'all, that felt really good on my upper back. All right, and then come to sitting. We're gonna sit with the legs out in front of you, knees bent, so you can get that spine nice and long. Shoulders are down and relaxed. George can be off to the side. All right, so from here, light touch with your hands on the knees, feet, or whatever angle works for you. And again, take a few breaths. Feel, inhale, rib cage expands, and as you exhale, feel the rib cage draw in and feel that core start to get a little tone. So everything is kind of lifting as that diaphragm lifts up on exhale. Shoulder blades are back, so where do you need to hold on so that you have that? And then with the next exhale, I want you to gently begin to pull the pubic bone up and slowly roll your pelvis back. So you're going into a very gentle C curve, equal curve through the whole spine. Take an inhale, the rib cage expands, and then exhale. Deepen the curve in your low back as you bring yourself forward. Inhale, slowly stack your spine all the way up. If you want to, now you can add arms and keep your arms down, what works for you. So as you exhale, feel the ribs draw in first, that lifts and tones the core, and then you slowly start to C curve. Again, upper back, you don't have to worry about rounding, it's more that low back. As you exhale again, you're bringing yourself forward. And then inhale, slowly stack the spine all the way up. Couple more. Exhale, use the breath, use that draw in, feel the rib to hip connection. Stay back there, enjoy inhale, feel the rib cage expand. Again, go to a point where you can still work through the breath. And think about reaching forward as opposed to down. And then inhale, stack, hold. All right, legs straighten out as much as you're comfortable. They stay hip distance apart, coming into roll down super slow. So inhale, the knees can be bent as much as you need to though. Exhale, begin that same half roll back. Pause for inhale. Think about your legs pressing down. Get those heels to engage into the ground. Get the glutes to work as you exhale and roll down a little bit more. Again, think broad across the collarbones. Think long through the spine. And as you slowly lay yourself all the way down, arms go overhead. On inhale, feel the back of the neck lengthen on its own, the arms toward the ceiling. As you exhale with slightly bent knees, ab prep, and then pause. As you exhale, imprint, and then pause. And then exhale, slide the ribs to the hips even more and bring yourself all the way up. I know I made that look easy. Inhale, start your roll back. Again, take your time here, about 3 breaths to go down, so divide it into roughly 3. What's happening across the collarbones? Keep this relaxed, change your arm angle if you need to. All the way down. Arms overhead. Inhale, feel the breath, lengthen the neck, arms up. Exhale, ab prep first. Knees are slightly bent. Exhale, imprint. And then exhale, legs press into the ground more and bring yourself up. One more time like this. So slowly down, down for 3 counts. I should say 3 breaths, not 3 counts. Again, notice, check in with the chest. How does it feel? Inhale. Exhale, ab prep. Exhale, imprint. Exhale, roll. All the way in. And then check in. All right, go ahead and flip over onto your abs again. Feet will go mat width apart. You are going to use George if you choose to. So you're going to bend your knees to 90 and George goes in between those knees. Sorry, in between the heels.
All right, so upper body is relaxed and down. So take a few breaths. Again, notice the breath and notice as you exhale. The diaphragm draws up, feel that core activate. And then on the exhales, begin to feel a little bit of pressure as you squeeze into George without letting that ball roll. So just a light pressure. So just getting tone in the muscles we're using first, the glutes, the hamstrings. And then with the next exhale, feel that core engage into the ball, and then use the glutes to lift your knees. Inhale, and then exhale, slowly release down. Core engages, exhale. Set up first at the very end, then your knees lift. Stay for inhale and exhale. There's a couple more here. So checking in, make sure the low back is still, pubic bone stays pressing down. Get that set up. And again, if you need to, you can stick with the knees staying down and getting that engagement before you lift. Lifting is optional. We got one more. And then go ahead and release. George can come out. Go ahead and windshield wiper the legs, let the lower back release. And then you're going to prop yourself up onto those elbows. Long through the low back again. So really think about pulling backward gently with those arms. That gets that push forward and draw the shoulder blades in just a little bit. Again, broad across the collarbones. Legs are parallel. So starting with the right leg, you're slowly going to bend the knee. You're going to bring the heel in. You have two presses with that heel pulling inward and then release. So the core is staying stable. So check in. Think about pulling from that mid hamstring up as you're pulling in. So you're really trying to activate the whole hamstring. So we're in extension and we're doing knee flexion. That gets that hamstring in its entirety. So check in. How do you feel? This bothers your low back at all? You drop yourself down. And again, it's about getting those muscles, the right muscles to do the work here. So feeling what you feel. Last set. Start with the right, finish with the left. And then pause. Check in. Again, drop the torso down, let your legs go side to side. And then back up in that same position. We're just going to do a couple where we do both legs at the same time. So again, watch your range of motion here. So get your setup again. Shoulder blades are gently pulled back. Open across the collarbones. Upper chest is relaxed. As you exhale, you're slowly bringing both heels in. Watch the low back here. And then slowly release. Got two presses in. Watch that the head's a natural extension of your spine. This really tells you now the difference between the two, right? And you have to work a little bit more awareness for keeping that low back long. You got one more set. Again, get that core to engage before you start your movement, pulling mid hamstring. And then go ahead and release down and sit back into shell. Rock your hips side to side if you'd like. And then come around onto your back. Knees into chest. Legs come to tabletop. So hip distance apart. Fingertips behind your head. Inhale, feel the back of the neck naturally lengthen. As you exhale, engage through the core and slowly draw yourself up. So again, notice the collarbones, notice the upper chest, nice and relaxed. Bring the elbows forward as you need. On the next exhale, slowly take your right leg out. Stay there for inhale, stay there for exhale. Inhale, bring it back in.
So how far out do you go? Depends on you. If you can keep it at this angle, if you need a little less work, it comes up higher. Working on the endurance of the core. So really think about what you feel. Start the breath first, because that engages those deeper abdominals, and then the outer ones kick in as you extend the leg. You can drop your head down, you're welcome to. Think about the head pushes back into the hands. Get out of your neck. We have one more. And then knees to chest. Rock around that low back, check in, see how you feel. All right, grab George. George goes underneath your left foot. Right leg to tabletop. And again, notice the spine. Hands are still behind the head. Take an inhale. Feel the rib cage expand. Exhale. Feel that draw in, that engagement through the core. Take a few there. Get a few breaths there. Get your exhale. My brain's running well ahead of my mouth today. All right, inhale. Feel the back of the neck lengthen all on its own. Exhale. Feel the breath first, and then you curl yourself up. All right, coming into obliques, we'll do a little bit more tempo work this time. So as you exhale, the right leg goes out, the left shoulder lifts. Inhale back to center. So a little bit different direction than normal. And I really want you to focus not so much on the size of the lift, but that connection of that left oblique going down to the right hip. Feel that diagonal. You can even think about engaging through the right inner thigh here. We got two more like this. And then back to center, release down, check in for a moment. Inhale, give me that head nod again. Exhale, feel that lift up and curl up. Now exhale, this time the knee comes in as the left shoulder goes up. Inhale, open out. So a little more traditional oblique work. Notice how this feels different on this same diagonal. The left leg is staying, pressing down lightly on George. Knee stays toward the ceiling. Notice the difference though when we change the angle of the leg and how it works with the shoulder. You know me, I like to mix things up. One more time. And then release, knees into chest. Rock around for a moment. And then your right foot will go on George. Left leg to tabletop. Fingertips behind the head. Relax those shoulders, flap your wings for a moment if you need to. And then get that inhale, get that lengthening, get the exhale, feel the draw in first, and then you curl yourself up. All right, slower with the right side. Right shoulder lifting, left leg goes out, and then inhale slowly back to center. Exhale. So think about the shoulder, think about this diagonal, rib to hip. So don't worry about what the arm's doing. Arms wherever it needs to be, so you feel open across the collarbones and nice and relaxed. And again, you're pushing the head back into the hands. You're feeling this in your neck. Drop your head down and all the way in between, and really take your time to reset. So the abs are holding your head up versus your poor little neck muscles. We got a couple more here. Notice your diagonal. And then back to tabletop. Head down, check in. All right, then we'll do a more traditional variation. So inhale, head nod. Exhale, engage the core first and then slowly up. And then as you exhale, knee comes in toward the shoulder. Inhale, open up the torso, leg goes long. Notice how this feels different on the obliques. Still working on this diagonal. Even get this left leg inner thigh a little bit involved. There's a diagonal line that goes rib, opposite hip toward that inner thigh. Again, it's not the size of the lift on the torso that's important. It's that connection that you feel. We got two more. And then release, knees into chest. Rock around. So So Amanda, we should warn you that we're a little bit side leg series crazy here. And it is time for my favorite time of class, which is side leg series. Woohoo! All right, flipping over onto your side. I guess our classes should come with warnings. We like side legs. All right, bottom rib up, reaching that top hip away. Bend the bottom leg as you need for stability. Will be nice since Amanda's here today. So starting with abduction. So slowly on exhale, keep the pelvis still, slowly lift that top leg as high as you're comfortable and maintain alignment. Slowly release back down. The leg stays in line with that torso and watch the pelvis. Keep the pelvis still. You're trying to get that femur to move in that hip socket. All right, now start to lead with the heel as you lift up, lead with the heel as you lower down. So you're getting some rotation in that hip socket as well. Pelvis still stays still. Got a couple more. And then hold it at the top. Level your leg out so the knees forward, maybe even slightly down. All right, from here, small circles. So inhale, the leg goes back and behind you. Exhale, bring it forward, back to the top and pause. Inhale, exhale, pause. And again, watch your range of motion. What's the pelvis doing? Make sure that knee stays pointing forward the whole time. Got one more this direction. And then go forward with that circle. Same thing. You always pause at the top. Let your body reset. Last one, hold it up. Now let your knee and toe open toward the ceiling just a little bit. So rotate up. All right, so from here, exhale, extend the leg behind you just a little bit, release. Exhale, release. So just a small hip extend, really getting into that glute, just that little bit more, just that little bit more. So staying somewhere around parallel to the ground, you can be a little bit higher. Check in with the bottom rib. Is it still stable? Is that top hip still reaching? Last one, and then both legs go out long. All right, coming into both legs lifting together. So use the bottom leg to lift the top leg. So as you exhale, core engages, pelvis stays still, push that top leg up, slowly down. Exhale, both legs lift. Again, watch the hips, keep them stacked, keep that shoulder relaxed, back of the neck long. How's the bottom oblique set doing? Got a couple more. Last one, and release. All right, bottom arm reaches long, coming into lateral flexion. Top hand can start on your side. It can lift up as we go. So exhale, engage through the core first, push down with that top arm, lift the torso, lift your legs. Inhale, and then slowly release yourself down. So that top hand can be wherever works for you. You can be dynamic with it. Again, it's all about the control. So pre-engage everything, get that little bit of tone happening, and then your lift is going to be much more solid. So exhale, core. Get the inside lifting before you engage the outside. We got one more. And then release. Go ahead and bring both knees to 90 and 90. We're just going to do clamshell. We did Betty Boop earlier. We're going to do a regular clamshell. So again, bottom rib lifted, reach that top hip away. Heels are your anchor point. Rotate that top knee up toward the ceiling and then slowly bring it back down. Rotate it up. Make sure that bottom heel is on the ground. If you need to get it down, bring the feet forward more. Again, movement is from the deep hip muscle. So think about, where am I originating the movement? 1, breath, 2, core, 3, hip. So you still have that same activation sequence. Couple more. And then release. Oh, go ahead and roll onto your back. Take that leg that you just worked that was on top and come into a figure 4 stretch. You can keep the foot on the ground. You can pull it in, what works for you. Cross it over. So get yourself a little hip stretch. What do you need? Be curious. All right, then we flip around to the other side. Okay. Long spine. Get your setup first. So core, hip stacked, shoulders stacked, at a natural extension of your spine. Bend the bottom knee if you need to for stability. Again, that bottom leg is actively engaging downward. All right, knee and toes stay pointing forward on the top leg. As you exhale, slowly lift it up as high as you're comfortable, keeping that alignment. Inhale back down. So make sure the knee is always pointing forward or even slightly down right now. And that bottom rib is staying lifted. So you've set the core, you've set the neutral pelvis. And then you start lifting the heel first and then lowering the heel first. So getting that rotation, a little bit of opening through the hip socket. One more. And then you're going to hold it at the top. So make sure that leg is in line with the body, coming into small circles. So inhale for half, exhale for half, pause at the top. Again, pelvis stays still, getting that femur to move in the hip socket. And then going the other direction. Last one, hold it up. Let the knee and toe turn upward just a little bit. Keep the pelvis still. And then exhale, press that leg behind you a little. Inhale, center. So get those glutes to really fire. Think about relaxing the toes, even as you press the heel out. So the movement happens at the ankle. And again, you're somewhere around hip height. Couple more. And then release. Both legs go out long. So coming into both legs, lifting together. And again, the bottom leg pushes that top leg up. So set your pelvis again. Shoulder blades are relaxed. As you exhale, push the bottom leg into the top leg and then slowly release down. Core first, legs lift. Think about even trying to really let that top hip relax. It just did a lot of work. So let the bottom leg do the work here, do the mobilization. Again, how's the shoulder relaxing? How's that head position? Check in. Is pelvis staying still? Bottom rib is staying up. You got the bottom obliques checked in. You got two more. And then relax. Bottom arm reaches long, coming into lateral flexion. So top hand can be in front, on your side, your choice. Again, exhale, engage everything, activate the arm, and then lift. Head's a natural extension of your spine. What's comfortable? What do you need to do? Inhale, release. Exhale, core, lift. And again, you can choose to figure out your stability, and then you're taking that top arm up. The key here is that those hips and shoulders need to stay stable. Again, you're doing those leg lifts that we just did. So think about that bottom leg activating. Again, top arm, wherever you choose. One more. And release, and then bring those knees forward, knees and hips to 90, your heels are on the ground, clamshell. Check in with that bottom rib, reach that top hip away. So rotating from the hip. Exhale, core first, then hip. Exhale, core, hip. Got a couple more. And release onto your back. Cross that top leg over into figure 4. Check in, see how it feels. Again, what do you need to do? Pull the knee into the chest, cross the leg the other way, add a little rotation. All's up to you. All right, and then please come to, let's do sitting. We're gonna come to a little mermaid style. So top knee is gonna be reaching straight out. So you're gonna have a line from knee to hip to shoulder. And again, if you relax it, that hip sinks back. If you engage the glute, it pushes that hip forward. Make sure this back foot is gently pointed. You can point it and then let it relax. So it shouldn't be actively pointing, it should just be relaxed pointing. Again, that helps protect your knee joint. All right, grab George. George. All right, so starting here, core is engaged. Take an inhale, lengthen your spine. On the next inhale, float the arm up long. And then as you exhale, push the bottom hand into George and lean the whole body sideways as far as you're comfortable. Inhale, stay here. And then exhale, engage through the core. Press down into George, bring yourself back up. So how effortless can you make it? Inhale, up. Exhale, core. Fire this glute. Lean yourself over. So I'm going to layer on some things here. Inhale, stay. Exhale, slowly bring yourself back up. Down with the arm. Inhale, float. Exhale, glute. Reach. So you're really trying to keep that spine relatively still. So it starts in a little bit of a lateral flexion. It straightens out. And then you really move from the pelvis, keeping that top hip forward. One more. So shoulders relax. So use the breath. So again, that exhale, engage before you move, helps you stabilize the shoulder. You should feel like that shoulder blade's rolling it or rotating just a little bit. All right, from here, check in, shake it out for a moment, and then you're going to bring both hands to the ground, facing where George was. All right. Engage this top glute, a little more side leg series, and I want you to lift that top heel and lower. Lift the top heel, lower. So it's kind of like you're doing a little belly boop. I just want you to get the feel for this glute firing. Yes? Okay. Long through the low back, no discomfort. You're only turned as far as you can maintain that low back comfort. Any discomfort, so you untwist a little bit. All right, now I want you to exhale. Lift the whole back leg, lower the torso. And again, your shoulders may be square, they may be slightly askew, and that's fine. Inhale, press back up. So exhale, lift the top leg. You're keeping this arc here in and slowly lowering yourself down. Inhale, exhale, bring yourself back up. Again, use the breath here. So feel the inhale, expand, exhale, core stabilizes. The leg lifts, you're able to keep pushing that breastbone forward. Inhale, pause, exhale, back up. We got one more. Hold it down this time. So now you have to keep pushing that breastbone forward. Straighten that top leg out. Bend the top leg again. Straighten it out. You just thought you were done with side leg screws. So a couple more times here. Again, think about what you're feeling through the core. Get the rib cage to expand and contract. Last one, and then slowly press yourself back up. Bring yourself around to the front, shake it out, forward fold. What do you need to do? And then we get to go to the other side. So again, the knee should be in line. So it's knee, hip, shoulder, all in line. Whoops. Grab your George. Make sure you have room to move. All right, so this back foot, again, pointed and then relaxed. Again, gives you the freedom to protect this knee. Hand on George. All right, so use the glute to push that hip forward a little bit. All right, so when you're ready, inhale, up, exhale, engage through the core first, and then slowly begin to lean sideways. So it's a full body lean once you get that arm or that torso straight. Inhale, stay here. Exhale, slowly press down into George and bring yourself back. Make sure that glute is firing to keep the hip forward. Inhale, up with the arm. Exhale, core. You were in lateral flexion. Bring it to neutral. Slide that yourself out straight. Inhale, pause. Exhale, back up. So how does this side feel? Inhale, up, exhale, engage. Get the lower inner layers, then the outer layers as you reach. Notice what your shoulders are doing as you're going into that lateral. So only go as deep as you're comfortable. So for me, the shoulder's a little bit more uncomfortable. So I'm going to back off on that range of motion a little bit. And really straight if I can feel the shoulder blade mobilizing. So when I really let that shoulder blade move, then the shoulder feels better. And again, we're getting a little bit of rotation on that shoulder blade. Last one here. And then slowly up. Having too much fun. All right. So now rotate toward George. And again, what rotation works for you? You're lifted up, you're pushing that hip forward. Hands can be slightly askew. You're comfortable through the low back. Now push the breastbone forward. All right, slowly exhale, lift the top heel. Inhale, lower it down. One more, just getting that glute to feel, right? Feel like you're engaging it. All right, so from here, exhale, now lift the leg and lower the torso. Inhale, exhale, bring yourself back up. Get that stability before you move. Inhale, exhale, bring it back up. Again, use the breath to get that activation through the core. One more here. And this time we're gonna go down and stay. And then inhale, straighten that top leg. Exhale, bend. Keep that hip push forward. Inhale, straighten. Again, any discomforts, back off. And then slowly bring yourself all the way up. Go ahead and come around onto your back, feet flat. Check in, see how you feel. Notice how the inhale feels. Notice how the exhale feels. And then just a few hip rolls as check in. So as you exhale, core engages first, get those outer obliques to check in, and then gently beginning to roll the pelvis a little bit, lift the hips up. Notice how the spine is moving, only go up as high as you can keep that low back still, and then slowly release yourself down, all the way to mat. Take an inhale, exhale, get the core engaging first, then articulate the spine. So maybe one more. And then you are done for today.